Okay. We should be back on. Sorry about that. It's just completely dropped out. Said there was a loss of connection. There we go. There's another link to the next Tier 2 lobby if anyone can hear me still. Hopefully people will join back in soon. Nighthawk, while we were missing there, did set a fastest lap of the 128.9, was on a great lap, and unfortunately I think I might have dropped out as he was doing it. Got 3 cars still in the pits, nobody currently on their first out lap. Everyone will be making their way back towards the pits. 4Stars had 2 goes at it, and he's got a 129.6 on the board, so still a few to get out there. KXI on track, and Real DC. I think he's on an in-lap. I think he's on an in-lap here. Doesn't look like his ERS is going down, which will tell me that he probably isn't. So they might both be on in-laps if they've had 1 lap. Where can we see? Is there anyone that's actually making their way out on track now? Nelu is just about to come on his out lap. The little one again, isn't it? He's on a lap, but you can see there by the red line at the bottom right of your screen that he has invalidated his lap. So the little one not having a good time, I think, so far in this qualifying session. Nelu on an out lap. Is he the furthest round out of people on an out lap currently? No, there's Farrell just crossing the starting line, so we'll jump on board with him and see what he can do. Good, nice, tight corner towards turn 1. That's Abbey. And then this tight right-hander down at the bottom is the farm turn. Slippy left-hander gets down, holds it. Mid to late throttle in third, gets up through the gears as quick as possible, and the DRS goes on. Tries to get himself up in top gear and flat out, as he does quite well. Harsh braking, then you sort of come off the brakes nice and slowly around that corner as you can stay in a higher gear as possible. As you can see that Farrell managed to stay in 5th, which is a great bit of pace still around that corner. Good exit at the moment, looks not too bad. Nighthawk still the fastest on track, the only man driver, should I say, to be going less than a 128 so far. Drops into 7. As he invalidated that, he has. Bass Farrell invalidated. I think he went just a little bit too deep after Cops, and that is unfortunate for him. Nelu starts his hot lap. Let's have a little look outside the car and see what it looks like from the exterior view. We've been on board for them so far, and I love the cameras in spectator mode and on the videos of this game. It really is good. So clean. I think they've cleaned it up a little bit. It is decent. Has anyone come around the corner? That is that Marty just finishing off his lap. He might be able to put a time down in a minute, unless that is Clerpier just starting his lap. That's a purple sector 1 for Nelu, so decent shift, and I think that was Clerpier just starting his hot lap. So he's now on a hot lap and Marty is not. Gotal Fury for the win. Will Farrell take it? He's in the pits at the moment, needs to put the time down first. Nelu goes very wide on track. He manages to not invalidate his lap there. That was very, very fast swing out, so he can't have necessarily gained any time by doing it because he hasn't got a penalty, but he takes plenty of the grass on the exit. And we saw an incident in Tier 4 with, who was it? Oh, I can't remember now, Murphy and other. I can't remember who the other person was now, and I was stewed in it. Anyway, it was right on the corner in the exit to Chapel, and 2 cars came into contact, one going slightly deeper than the other, so we can see that it's such a fast corner, anything can happen. Is this Nelu getting held up on his lap? I'm not entirely sure. It's enough to put him in a P7 for now, 129.227, but with cars closely tight near each other around the track, they're just going to get in each other's way. Need to give plenty of space unless someone's made an error, in which case it's probably best to get out of the way. Anyway, we'll jump back down, see if Hobbsy can put a time in. He's in the McLaren. In fact, is there anyone else on a lap that's in front of him? Leo's behind him. Yeah, let's have a little look and see what Hobbsy can do. Why not? He's just starting Sector 2. He's in the McLaren tonight with Cole Paradox alongside his teammate, and Liam Cross has left the session. Not ideal when he hasn't set a time yet in the pits. Where's that McLaren? It's on the hanger straight. Just towards Stone, turn 14. And he's crawling around there. He's just pulling back at the pits. Okay, something went wrong there. KXI is on a hot lap as well, a bit further back, and he's still yet to set a time. It's worth calling out that Stuyben and Nighthawk are both also out on hot laps, and I missed Marty taking the fastest lap with 5/10 off Nighthawk for a 1:27.499. Wow, that's just took a hell of a chunk off the rest of the field. Fair play. Tell you what, we'll jump up. We'll have a look at someone like Stuyben, and he's invalidated and he's pulled to the side. Nighthawk is also invalidated and he's pulling around into the pits as well. So the front runners are not going to get any higher at the moment. We'll go back down and see where everyone else is. Leo's just starting his hot lap. Or Leon. Is it Leon? Or Leon ZRN? Leo ZRN. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. KXI just coming around Stowe. Get tight to the corner, and it looked like there was a bit of a glitching ahead of him on track there. I don't know if that came up on the stream, but I'm sure there's a car sideways for a flash. What's he going to do? He's going to put himself P2 with a 1:27.7. Maybe the track has got to optimal conditions here. It's a nice, beautiful day. I don't know what the weather's like in the race, but that's it's optimal conditions today, and KXI taking advantage of the acclimatization, and he's not done a bad job at all, as he stuck it on P2 with a 1:27.7. There is three of them now. A sub 1:28. Let's see who else can do it. Just on board with Deruy. He's obviously in the Williams alongside our Mr. DC. Good evening, Daniel. If you watch your back. Maggots. Beckett's. And Chappell on the exit. Can he improve? 1:29.5 he's got to beat to move, well, just to beat his time actually. 1:29.2 is what he's going to have to do, but has he got the pace? He's got a valid lap on board, which is better than some so far, and he can leap above his teammate Mr. DC with his lap. Mr. DC is in behind, and he is also coming up into the start of Sector 3 at the end of Maggots and Beckett's. Marty still with the fastest lap on track with a 1:27.499. Solid speed, and DC, is he warming up for another go? Yeah, he is, sorry, yeah, he is, of course he is. His ERS is full, so I think he had a warm-up lap as well as his out lap. Am I right or am I wrong? Oh, he's pulling back in. This is confusing, I have to say, on the left-hand side when it says no laps. Or is it no completed laps? Anyway, Nullsy also backing off, so he's not setting a lap. Hobbsy, he's just going around turn 1. There's a few obviously pulling in and not too many on track. How long is left of qualifying? 3:30, so there's going to be a few launch out the pits any minute, I would have thought, to see our last lot of attempts. Whoa, stop waving around in front. Stop waving around in front. And back off. Okay, that was maybe a little bit late to do that. Bit naughty, but Hopsy's still on his lap. He really does need to set a time here, one way, shape or form, and he has a little bit of a wobble coming out of the end of Luffield. And is that going to be affecting his time? We'll see. Little dab back down the gears, no braking. Or did he dab a little bit of brake there? He seemed to take a while to get back up 7th gear once he exited. And you can lose time there without a shadow of a doubt. Probably 2-3 tenths if you get the acceleration a little bit late, or you go a little bit too slow through the corner. Fine margins, but a time is a time, and that is the biggest thing he's got to concentrate on. Does Hobbsy coming into Sector 3? How's he looking? 3 turns left. Vale. And then through Club. Here we go. currently 17th, is now 10th with a 129.5. Well done, Hobbsy. Here you can see the front 6 on track now have all coming out for their hot laps. So, and as you can see on track, they're literally just spaced very, very close together. Stuyven at the front of them. Is there any further around the track? I think Lars is out a bit. Yeah, he is. And is that someone just starting to track? Yes, it is. So Nighthawk, we'll stay on board with him to see if he can better his lap with a 127.9. We've got Lars behind him on track as well. So you only need to press R2 the once. So easy to find them. We'll see how he gets on. Steady away. I think he got into 5th a little bit quick there, or is that faster? There's a reason why I'm in tier 3 and these are in tier 2. So I would be in a little bit of a low gear there, but obviously with no traction you can keep the traction a little bit better in higher gears, as long as you can control it. Sometimes I find you can have a little bit too much power underneath you, and it's easier to spin the wheels if you're going around corners in a higher gear. Nova movement, I don't think on the left-hand side of the screen, with times coming in, and he's invalidated Nighthawk, and that is bad news. We're going to jump on board with Lars just behind him. He will not get another go. Now, in fact, Nighthawk might. If he backs out, he mightn't he? Because if he finishes this lap, he's still got time to get one in if he backs off, because the tyres will be fine for another, but it's whether or not he's going to have the ERS to get round. But can Lars make an upset? He's currently a 128.2. Had a great early lap, but as we've seen, there's been 3 strong laps that have taken over, and it's an invalidation for Lars. He has also dropped back. He is not going to be able to finish. Who's that with another one? That was De Roy, who also invalidated. Sorry, didn't matter anyway. He was on his way back in. Captain Nick. I don't think I've been on board with him so far, so I'm going to give him his airtime too. He is in the Haas. And Haas, he got the minerals. P7 so far, a 128.3. Not a bad lap, but he's got a bit to find on the race leaders, well, so far. There you go. So you see how he was mid-revs there in 7th gear. That was a little bit more positive. Keep plenty of pace. Uses a lot of engine brake in there, and then dabs back into the 6th gear to get his foot down out of Chapel. Marty sets the fastest lap with a 127.3. Faster still. Relentless. KXI up there in 3rd. He's also now on the lap. Will Captain Nick improve on his spot at the moment? He's looking to beat a 128.3, and does. He jumps 1 above Stuyven. Stuyven is backed out, so that's his qualifying done as well. Lars has managed to get that extra lap in. He is in sector 2. Is there anyone even near the line coming over the line at the moment? Let's fly about. Who's that? Nolsey. He's just probably pulling the car in, so unfortunate for him. Who else was behind? I know I shouldn't do flicking up with R2. Sorry about that. They're coming in as well. So let's look up and down. Everyone's finished, haven't they? I'm trying to see who I can actually join on board with. They're coming in the pits. Lars is on a... I don't think that's going to be a hot lap. He's going to run out of the ERS. No, he's not. It's only the last corner. Is he going to get away with it? We'll see if he can beat the time, Lars. But wow, that was... oh, there you go. No, he won't beat his time. Leo just slowing down as well. Right, I'm so sorry. It's been a while since I've commed on my own and done the lead comms. It's been Indigo that's been leading it recently for me. This season will be as well in Tier 1. So if I was all over the place there and probably not following the cars that... you wanted me to follow, or I was a bit slow trying to keep up with where everyone was, and I do apologise. I'm trying my best. But Marty, that's a lethal run. Well done. A 127.3. He's got to be pleased with that. Got to be pleased with that. And yeah, that right. I've seen a comment here about Tier 1 pace, and to be fair, probably right, isn't it? Probably right. Probably is Tier 1 pace, that. Not bad at all. Tier 1, of course. Also racing tonight. Not that we care. Not that we care. The action's here. So, Marty, 1998. in the Aston Martin in P1. Leo ZRN in P2. And thank you, by the way, Hugo Clement. What a nice little comment that is. I've just seen at the bottom of my screen. KXI in P3 for the Ferrari GSR Nighthawk in P4 in the end. I thought Nighthawk, I thought at one point he had the pace to maybe cut a little bit, a few more tenths off that again. Didn't manage it, but over the moon, obviously, because I'm with the Alpha Tauris. So up the Alpha Tauri, big race, no pressure, Nighthawk. And sorry, just about to go down and have a little look at the rest of the drivers, and I didn't manage it because I was too busy gobbing on about Alpha Tauri. But who cares? Up the Alpha Tauri. So here we go. As I say, Kyle Vanderberg, Tobes, Hedgehog, Freefall, Chrisview and McConey, unfortunately, not in the race tonight, but they should feature because they're the absentees this for this race. But it is only race one. There's a hell of a lot of a long season to go, and we open it here in Silverstone. Why is it migrating host? I hate it when I see stuff like this. Oh no, someone's left the session. Stuyven's left the session. Ah, man. Right. Someone let me know if you can still hear me, and if you can hear me, is it me? Oh no, there we go, starting in 28 seconds. But everyone's left the session. Oh, man. There's hell on. Right, give me a minute if you can still hear me or not. If it's me that's yeah, we can hear you. Right, nice one. Thanks, Hugo. Right, okay, let's just give us a minute and see what goes on. We'll see if that starting timer actually gets down to the bottom, and if there's actually cars that are going to be racing. I'll have a little look in the chat now as well, if someone could let me know what's going on. I might need to leave and join again. Hopefully I can still join as your comms and have the same inputs. I'm not entirely sure. Here we go, there's people there. Are we good? I think we're good. There's 19 races. I can see 19 races. It doesn't look like anyone's ghosted out, or is there? Alright. Alright. It looks like it's good. There's definitely someone controlling that car. That's not AI. Error. Ah, what? Right, so I've had an error in the session. Bear with me a minute. I'm the only one currently in this session. Leave session. What's going on? I might need an extra invite, and I don't know who's going to be able to give me that. Oh, it's all right. I've just seen. Okay, so as we've noticed, the lobby is glitched. You'll receive a new invite very soon, ASAP, and we'll do a new short quali. Right, okay, there's a new lobby coming on. Right, all right. If I'm still online, I'm just going to have to chat any amount of absolute nonsense for a bit, aren't I? Oh, nightmare. Right, well, basically, for the people watching, can I go to a screen where I can't hear the music in the background? Can't remember where I do that. Game options. Let me just knock the music down a bit if I can. Is there not an audio or something? Yeah, music. There's my invite. Ideal. Turn all off. Theme. I'll do. Just turn everything off. Right. Ten people still watching, so I think I'm actually I'm still on the stream itself. So sorry about this. We'll get there. Let me just make sure I'm spectating. The drama. You're not wrong, Hugo. This game is horrible. It's very buggy. Very, very, very buggy. I don't know if you were watching the first race, sorry, the warm-up race, but there was quite a few stupid things. There's people that are getting drive-through penalties for no reasons. There's people that are all of a sudden getting a delta that they have to stick to that's miles too far away from them, so they're having to stop the car on track. It makes driving very difficult when you've got leagues. It's unfortunate on the drivers as well, because there's people getting penalties that they don't even deserve, and it can cost them races entirely. Just ridiculous, just absolutely ridiculous. It is a nightmare. I would prefer sort of less gizmos and gadgets on the game if they can get the game just so streamlined and bang on where it needs to be first. You know, the biggest things to meet or visit, and sometimes they don't do that. Because we're in the lobby as well at the moment, I think I can hear someone else's noise, so mute if you're in chat, boys. It doesn't matter now anyway. Right. Short qualifying. Are we genuinely doing short qualifying again? Is that right? Is that the only way that you can set it up and not just put the race on? We were done, weren't we? Or were we? Or was everyone just on their last... actually, yeah, they were on it. They were on the last lap, some people, weren't they? Or were we done? Honestly can't remember. There's hell on. It's hard to keep up, sorry. I apologise. Tier 1 will still start at the same time, so I believe, alright, so a bit of a heads up, that Tier 1 will start at the same time. It won't be delayed as a result of Tier 2's delay. But of course, I'm sure you don't want to go anywhere. Once we get going, we'll get going, because it looks already like there's a few unbelievably quick drivers out on track. That is a positive, and I think we're going to keep the same weather. Is that right? They might have set it to weather. I think it was clouds in the sky last time. There's certainly no clouds in the sky here, so my prediction is we had a 127.3, was it? A 127.5 that won the last one. So I reckon it's going lower. But I would be devastated if I was Marty, for instance, who was setting an unbelievable lap, if he was to just then go and get into bother in a second qualifying. Really, really harsh that people couldn't set the last times, if that is what's just happened. I didn't think it did, but I don't know when obviously the lobby had glitched. You never know, but that's unfortunate for people that have set a good lap, but you'll certainly get the practice in. Go and do it again. Mr. Fury of the Farrell variety, and he is on his outlap. Is he going to lead them out? Oh no, he's not. Who's that? Out. Foster? Is it him? No. Clippier, is it him? Oh, it's his teammate. Oh, it's Marty. Yeah, it is Marty. Right, to be honest, we should stay on board with him, because it's probably fair in the grand scheme of things. Nighthawk, no, he qualified fourth, did he, in the previous session, or would have qualified fourth? Get yourself back in ASAP. Showed absolute boatloads of pace and showed that he could go quicker. So I do want to see him back in the lobby ASAP. The two Aston Martins follow each other out. No messing about in that garage. Get us on track. Track looks warm enough already. Bit of understeer on his outlap. Not that I'll be bothered about that, just trying to get the tyres warm. A lot more difficult to get the tyres warm, of course, on this game. Or I think so anyway. I might be talking nonsense there, but I certainly feel like it does. I've enabled everything. Yeah, I have. Here we go, baby. Marty, 1998. Wonder when he was born. Here we go. Into 7th to start his hot lap. The first out on track that start their hot lap. Cube on the boy. He's backed off a little bit, but he has stayed in 8th. Or did he? Or was it just the natural sound that he heard through the engine down the corner? But he stayed nice and tight to that. And nice and tight to that. He's got into 4th good. He's used all of the track. That's good and bad sometimes. The curbs can be a little bit unforgiving in terms of keeping traction, I find. But he's certainly using every little bit of it, nice and tight. And heads towards Luffield, and of course takes the line where he's a little bit deeper so he can attack and get back up to speed, or back on the accelerator a little bit quicker, doing that way and doing that angle, and you generally find the fastest drivers around this track don't hug the apex around there. And just a little dab down. He's again got a decent line through Cops. Here we go. Tough, fast sector. Borrows a little bit of the grass. DRS open. He was the fastest on track not too long ago. Here we go. What's the crack this time round? Can he do it again? Can he repeat himself? I hope so, because I feel like personally he deserved it. Off that first session that we've already seen. There's some time marks going straight on there. I wonder if they were. Here we go. Bang. A 127.3. So, as said, I thought we would go quicker, and he's just done it on his opening lap. Oh, wowzer. That is unreal. I think that would have been nigh on quickest of his previous, so he's shown what he can do. Is it track temperature that's done that? Are we going to see other people do that? Strauss has invalidated his lap. Nello is on a lap, and he's coming around the hanger straight. Nello. Yeah, we'll see where he's going to do it. There's a few that still come across the line. Steban with a 128.2. Liam Cross 128.6. Clerpiar with a 129.4. Nelu jumped into 6th, and then he gets beat in 6th, and he drops down with a 129.8. That was Clerpiar in front of him. This looks like it's an opening lap for De Roy. Is he trying to begin speed here? Yes, he is. So he's going to be on an out lap. Looks like there is a yellow flag in sector 3. I think that is to do with people pulling aside for drivers out on track. Captain Nick with a 128.4. So all around the track there are faster times. There is a few that have not gone a sub 128 yet, but our leader Marty with that's ridiculous, to be fair, isn't it? That he's gone 9/10 quicker of anyone in the first opening people's laps. That's mental fast, that. I'm impressed with that, but it shows just how quick he is. Is anybody on a lap here? KXI, Lars, what's he doing? He's pulling in. Who's coming around that opening corner? They're pulling in. Who's that? That's a purple sector. Who's that? We'll stay on board. Liam Cross, has he got enough in the ERS to go again? No, he probably isn't, so it doesn't really matter. I think he'll be pulling in because he won't be able to go quicker, I don't think. Is he going to try? No, he's not. Marty stays well ahead. Well ahead. Crazy. There's quite a few people on this back straight, isn't there? That's a purple sector for sector 1 for Strauss. We've seen he's been unreal for the last few seasons. Just sort of looks like he just seems to get incrementally better, does Strauss. You know, in tier 3 he was walking it at one point. Him and Cole Paradox were pretty special last season, because I just had to watch them from the back of the track every time, and you see both drivers in here in the race tonight, in the McLaren and the Mercedes. I'm on board with Strauss as we speak. I think he'll be pulling back round as well, actually, so I should get off him. KXI jump on to see how he was doing. He was on a hot lap, and I can only imagine facing the wall that he didn't do too well around Stowe, and he's going to pull himself into the pits as well. Farrell, here we go. He's just coming at the end of the sector 2 and through Maggots and Beckett's. He's stayed in 8th. Double shift down into 6th, into 5th, so he can get straight back on and climbs back up the gears. So we see as he goes up the hanger straight how he's going to be looking, but so far it looks to be that, well, we've just seen the second sector go purple. He's got every chance here. Can Farrell do it? Final 2 corners. Top 6 stays the top 6 currently, I believe. Hobbs put a time in with 129.4 as well. Farrell 6th, 128.9, so sub 129. This really does show how special that lap is from Marty. That is pretty good. Can Paul Caradox, also known as Cole Paradox, what can he do? He's on an out lap and he's only just started, so we'll jump away and see who else is there. The little one's jumping in. He didn't have a fantastic time, obviously having a bit of problems in turn 1, as we saw before, as well as invalidating, sorry. Crept over me. Leo on an out lap as well. He's the next to start a hot lap, isn't he? I believe Shaw is Farrell. But he invalidated, didn't he? No, Farrell's on a lap as well, but he's behind him. But we'll stay on board with Farrell. Let's see what he can do. He can invalidate on that. We move back. Leo. Just come to the start. Who was he on board with them after Farrell? I don't know. Out lap. Captain Nick is on his outlap now, as well as Marty, our leader. So 3 of the top 5 are all on outlaps and just coming out again. Still plenty of time to go in this qualifying session, so I believe we'll see in a minute when we see that yellow flag go. But a purple Sector 1 for Leo, who we're just on board with at the moment in the Alpha Tauri. We'll see how he gets on. We'll obviously keep a close eye on the times as well. We also see at the moment that Marty has started his hot lap too. We'll go on board for now with Leo. We'll jump up to Marty. Once Leo has put it... once he's invalidated, he's not going to set a time there again, unfortunately, but he is still in credit of 9 minutes of qualifying and short qualifying. So Marty sets a purple Sector 1. We see our current fastest man on the track by 9/10 is Marty. That's a huge gap, to be fair. There's going to be inquiries. There's definitely going to be inquiries. That's insane pace, and maybe, just maybe, he might see himself in Tier 1 sooner rather than later. But that's pretty special to be that far ahead. Can he follow it up, though? Can he go any quicker? Oh, I got an invite off Nathan then. I panicked. I was thinking, is he inviting me? Does that mean I'm offline again? Right. Sector 3, about 4 corners to go. Can he beat his time? Cole Paradox chucks a one in, a 128.5. He'll be pleased with that. That puts him into P4. DC on an outlap now. Liam Cross is obviously having another go, but the final corner of Club, we see our race leader go a 10th faster again and puts himself a full second faster than anyone else on the track. That is insane. That is mental. I don't think I've seen that in any tier, by the way. Have I seen that in any tier? I don't know if I have seen that in any tier, but that is an insane time. And yeah, you can only have a thumbs up for the Aston Martin, because they must be licking the lips seeing him here. Cole Paradox on his lap. There's quite a few coming around that opening corner, so we'll keep a close eye on the times. And it was Liam Cross has just crossed the line for a 127.6, starting to get closer now, some of the people in this field. Wow, that's so hard to find people. Spectate. Farrell. He's around there. That's great. Yeah, I'm just going to still press L1 and L2 and R2. It's just easier. Who just set a lap there? Was it Captain Nick? Set a lap. He was a little bit high before. KXI puts himself in third. Liam Cross has put a time in. That was the 127.6, sorry, it was. But KXI has also gone a sub 128. So that's the top 3 again, but I imagine someone's going to do it. There is a yellow flag in Sector 1. Unfortunately, that looks like a Ferrari, and KXI's teammate, probably Little One, who pulls himself back onto the track. It is unfortunate for him. Leo on an outlap. Who is currently on a lap? That's KXI. He's in Sector 1. Can he make a purple open sector? No, he can't. Lars is also on track, and he's a little bit further round, and he's in the middle of Sector 2. So we'll stay on board with him a moment. We've obviously got the 2 Williams in front of him. That's DC. Let's give DC some time. I haven't actually given him some time. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry, mate. You've invalidated. So we'll move on to someone else. What about DC's teammate? He's invalidated, but he's on an outlap. Who isn't? Albert's out here. They're either invalidated or too far around for us to bother worrying about them just yet. How's Nelu doing? I expect it. He's pretty decent. He's pretty sharp, is Nelu. Or can be, certainly on his day, but he'll expect a little bit better than the 129.8 for sure. Invalidate. They're in the pits. KXI then. He's coming around Stowe now. He probably could have hugged a little bit more of the corner to keep pace, and he's just coming in as well, so not happening. Styban, invalidated, not happening, coming round. Still 5 minutes left, so everybody going into the pits, bear in mind, they're going to have another shot at it anyway. Farrell is on his hot lap, or is he? Because it seems there's quite a few people that say no laps on the left-hand side that are pulling back into the pits. Was that a purple sector? I was too busy looking over the other side of the screen. It might have been a purple sector in Sector 2 as he approaches Sector 3, and the Red Bull just pulling to the side to let him through. Here we go. What can he do? No pressure, Farrell. 2 corners to go. Exit tight. That's a decent line. Looks a decent line. He's got back on quick. Ooh, did he clip that inside corner? It didn't matter because he did it on a 128, let's say dead, 128 and change, but he'll take that. It's P4 and it puts him up there, and that is a meaningful place to be. Everybody, as you can see, is pretty much in the pits apart from an invalidation for De Roy. He's probably just pulling his car back around. Strauss is out on track and he started, but he's already got a lap in, so he's probably coming around. Leo's in the middle of sector 2 and we'll probably give him some time. He's invalidated again. Leo, come on. I think it's that same spot. He just absolutely pings into where's that? Is that Cops? Yeah, it's Cops, isn't it? Absolutely flies into it. I mean, I love the enthusiasm, but you've got to stay on track going at that pace or you're not going to get a lap in. Knowlesy's still out on track. He's done 6 laps. Is he feeling all right? Or is he just he might just be getting some practice in. But I'd put a time in, unless he didn't have a carryover race or anything, did he? No, he's new. Is he pulling in? Go around again, why not? Nah, he's pulling in. All right. Leo's also in the pits. De Roy, is he coming in? It's that time of the track now, ladies and gentlemen, where everyone's just coming in. They're all coming in. They're going to get some fresh softs on. Not that they've got a choice to not, but they've got fresh softs on, and they're all going to come out when the track is probably as good a condition as it's going to be, all on minimum fuel around here to do the lap. You obviously put it in a little bit of no, you don't even need to put it in lean at this point because you're only going to get the one hot lap in anyway. So yeah, go for it. Go for it all flat out. What we saying? 127.2. Can that be beat? The first session, I'm pretty sure it's faster than. So that's an improvement again. I mean, again, I'll say it, I think Marty gets what he deserves for such a massive display in the first session. To then come out and put such a good display on again is pretty impressive. Lars, he's on his outlap. Is he at the front of the people on their outlap? Someone's invalidated. That doesn't matter. Let's have a look. Who's that? DC. Right, we'll stay on board with DC because I don't think I gave him a chance before. I think I jumped on him and he invalidated. Don't do it again, please, mate. I'm not being held responsible. But we'll have a little look and stay on board with him as well, so we can have a little look at his input, as you see at the bottom of the page. The page? Bottom of the page? It's not a page, is it? It's a screen. Stays in 8th through turn 1. Abbey towards Farm and gets down. Turn 3. Yeah, he gets into 4 early. Make sure he gets as much traction as he can and gets half throttle. He doesn't want cars waving about in front of him. Oh, it looks like someone was getting out of the way, but it looked like a late escape. Just get out the way early. I know he tried to get round, but still a couple of minutes left. Won't make a difference, will it? And I'm staying on board with DC. I'm going to stay on board with him. Come on, lad, I'll give you the full lap. Marty's still the fastest on track. Liam Cross, KXI in 3rd. Farrell Fury keeps that 4th spot at the moment. There's Lars. He is on a lap as well. What can he do? Because he's shown a bit of a decent pace as well. Still only 3 cars under that 128, and I actually thought that would be different. Why is he weaving about right at the very last minute? Probably wouldn't be too impressed if I was DC, but look, he's still on course. Can he jump? P9 currently 128.6. 2 corners to go. Come on. Oh, he's a little bit late on the brakes there for me. That's going to have affected his last 2 corners. Is he going to be able to beat his time though? Yes, he can put a 128.4 in. I think that last corner might have just hit him a few tenths up, and I think that would have been, 5th, 6th maybe, off that last corner. I don't know whether or not he'd have lost 3 tenths off that tiny, tiny little slip, but it looked like that. Lars is out the session. So he is either retired or he's happy enough that he's not going to be able to go any faster. Marty, our race leader, he is on a fast lap. He is still leading affairs. Captain Nick is also setting a lap. He's in P7 at the moment. KXI is on a lap. Farrell Fury is on a lap. So we now know that we'll tap down and have a little look at P3 and P4. And they are moving respectively around from each other. Who just passed the line? Because I've just seen someone move. Was it Nelu? He might have just stepped into P6 with a 128.1. Someone else down south just did something. Little One might have been a person that's just put a lap in as well. That would make sense. 1 lap in, a 128.7. Well done him. Our pole sitter, Marty, 1998. Great year. Goes faster with a 1:26.9. Oh my days. He has just beat the 1:27 mark when we've still only got 3 that have beat the 1:28 mark. Blooming hell. That is frightening for Marty. If he can go even anywhere near his race pace, he should take this by a street. But we'll see. We're just jumping on board with KXI, and I think we've got Farrell behind him, and no, we don't have Farrell behind him. He has been in bother, so he unfortunately is not going to get quicker than where he is now. But is there anyone further down the field that can? Strauss is on a lap at the moment. Knowles, he desperately needed a time, but didn't put a time in. Did he invalidate every lap for 6 laps? There's something not right there, surely. But yeah, Marty, wowzer. That is hell's bells, man. KXI comes across the line. He can't beat his time, unfortunately. Farrell Fury has got... Oh, no, that didn't matter, did it? He wasn't on a lap, was he? Although, it's his... What? It doesn't say he's invalidated anymore. Was that his out lap? It doesn't look like he's on a lap. That's Stuyban. He's pulling in. These are all had laps. Clerpiar. Is anyone... Yeah, invalidated. Pitts coming around sector 1. That's Strauss. He's done. Is everyone done? Everyone's done, innit? Hobbs, done. Yeah. That's it. Marty will go and watch him pull in the pits. What a drive with a 126.9. Hell's bells. That is some qualifying. Ridiculous tier 2 pace. So he might see himself marching on. Leo ZRN, great effort by the way, the 127.5. He takes P2. Liam Cross, well done. P3. KXI in 4. Farrell Fury 5. There is no more changing of the positions as we see Lars and Nefu. Nefu, also known as Nelu Safu. Stuyban, is it Stuyban? Captain Nick, Real DC, Cole Paradox, and Core. There was Strauss underneath. Cole Paradox and Strauss just really can't spend any time apart. They even want to be beside each other on the grid. 4-star 13, 14 is Little One, 15 is Hobbsy. Durui is in P16. Clerpiar gets 17, and of course Knowlesy just fancied a little bit of a drive around, didn't he? He enjoyed himself. He just fancied a little tootle, little Sunday afternoon. Crack on in the car. Class. Race director, what does that tell us? Incident still tell us. Anyone did anything naughty? Invalidated lap? No. Here we go then. Surprised everyone used the softs. Yeah, a couple got four stints in, that's decent, but I think that was just messing up on it and coming back a bit early. But yes, here we go. Tier 2, race 1. Can't wait. Nighthawk, didn't he horrible? I can't say the next line. In the chat, he is commenting on his performance. Didn't it just go off? Was it connection? Anyway, yeah, Marty, take our bow. We're going to come out for qualifying in a minute. No, we're not. We're going to come out for a formation lap in a minute. Just waiting for players. So at this point on your screens, when you're, if you're viewers and you don't play the game, you will notice that it's saying wait for players, and basically what we're doing at the moment is the drivers are selecting things like their strategy for the race, how much fuel they're going to put in their car, how many laps they want out of the fuel. So some people will go high fuel and just, not worry about saving any fuel on track. Some people will go a little bit lighter, and the debate is what's faster. People will probably have mixed opinions on that, but it's more comfortable to be able to go for it. It should be tier 2 after seeing that. Right, I'm going to head to the YouTube chat if I can. Hang on. What we're doing? Formation. We'll leave them to do that. I'm in here. Tier 2, race 1. Let's go have a little look. 18 viewers. Hello. Decent. I didn't even know there was people on after the early glitch. I apologise about that. It was just all gone a bit weird. But it migrated host about 15 times and kicked everyone else out. So a few calls in the chat. Marty and the Fire Emblem is probably the only way to sum that performance up by Tofa. Thank you, Tofa. Forza Cone by Dragon on Speed. Here in Fandango commenting again. Oh, yeah, boy. Tune into Tier 1 each week. And I should be involved with Indigo. I'm just covering Tier 2 tonight. As I say, you've normally got a different two comms in Tier 2. I can't remember off the top of my head who does it. Who's doing it this season, actually, for Tier 2. But, yeah, I am very, very happy to be stepping in because from what I've seen so far, we're up for a bit of a beauty, to be fair. I'm looking forward to it. There's sort of, between 1 to 5 really tight. I mean, Marty potentially could lap the whole field by what he's just done in qualifying, but the 2 down to maybe 7 or 8 are all absolutely pacey. Captain Nick showed some decent pace in there as well. DC we know has got it. Strauss and Call Paradox as well. In fairness, I might as well go all the way down to 19 because that's where the Nighthawk is. That he's been butchered with connection, but he was actually showing a lovely little bit of pace and qualified. Was it P4 first time round in the qualifying? So look to see him fly up the grid. My driver of the day, early doors Nighthawk. I reckon he's going to absolutely blast through the field to get himself up higher. But this is not always what happens, I'm afraid. It's not always fair, this game. But you can see there on your left hand side the tyres, a few people going on hards, a few people going on mediums. A medium hard or a hard medium is of course done. Nobody's opted for softs, which I saw a couple of people in other tiers do. Maybe that's why they're in other tiers. The enable bits on the tyres, penalties, position changes. What should we do? Put it on position change, stops. Tyres, we know tyres now, don't we? I'll jump back onto them in a bit. Penalties, hopefully we don't see any. So let's go position change and see where they're all at. I'm on board with Marty, but I best get out board of Marty. I tell you what I'll do. A little bit of a change. These are DQ, and what are you doing? Why is he going around him? You can just coast on that, and there's another one. DQs all round, lovely, well done. That is basically when the drivers are pulling up to the line now, you have to stop in the right position, and it has to be green or purple, or if you sometimes go past where you should be starting from, it can cause problems. Let's jump on board with like a 4th or a 5th. Let's go KXI and see how they all drop. But the lights are gone, and this is Silverstone, and we are away. What a launch by Laz, who takes 4th right off the start from KXI. Just steals it away from him, but the rest have stayed as they are. We're going to get outside the car and see if there's anything else going on, and there clearly is something else going on. Nelu Safu has dropped straight to the bottom. Nighthawk is out of the race, and he goes in turn 1. That is a ender, and that is a yellow flag. There is a safety car right out of the gate. Oh my days. Who is it that's crawling around? I was going to say it's which one's the yellow car? I did this last season. What a numpty. Looking for a Renault. And it's of course the safety car, and we got all of, was it 2 corners, 2 or 3 corners, safety car, well done, well played. That's probably just a saving grace for Nelu, really, who has gone right to the back of the field, because at least he'll be able to jump in the pits straight away. And yeah, he's at the back, but at least he's close to the field. If you're getting to bother really does, and then you're also having to, it's just a virtual or not even that, then that can cause problems. But look, these hard tyres are really hard to get warm or warm enough under a safety car. It can cause all sorts of problems. The safety cars go too far, too slow. Obviously, the real F1 drivers will tell you that all the time as well. That it's really tough keeping, heat in the tyres. But we can see the right sprawled across the whole of Sector 3 at the moment. I've just seen Nathan's comment in the chat. I should be tier 2 after seeing that time. Commenting on Marty's qualifying. To be fair, I should sell the game after seeing Marty's qualifying time. That was an absolute joke. It was nice to see though. It's absolutely like quality. But yeah, tier 1 elect. Unreal. So we're just having a little look at him now, but the Aston Martins will be chuffed. That's pretty safe to say. Leo ZRN up the Alpha Tauri Cuban boy. He is currently in P2. Buzzing about that. So go on you. Guanju. Is there stuff going on further back there? Did I see someone change positions? Hopefully not. One stop out, we see the predicted strategies at the bottom for a medium hard, or a hard medium as we now know. The little Wan, what did he get a penalty for? To 5 seconds. And Nelu. Did they go quick into the pits? Did the pit there? Who's come out on the intermediates? What? What? Nulty's tootled around in the practice and come out in the intermediates. Is he feeling all right? That must be a glitch, surely. Surely he's not. Or it was certainly a mistake if so. Look at the Merc. Group 3. Even flashes. Right, how are we going again? Is it coming in this lap or what? I'm expecting to see it at the top. He might have to go around one more time, actually. So, yeah, sorry, but it's far from... Ooh, steady. Do not touch that safety car. Or you will see... what's the expression? Limbs. Let's call it cogs. Because it'll be... it's just an insta death of wheels coming off and noses coming off when you go anywhere near the safety car. Certainly do not make contact. But we're going to be going around again, I'm afraid, so we're going to follow this safety car around as the you can see they're all frantically throwing the cars from right to left on the track because they're not going very quick. It's still over 100 mile an hour when it's going straight, but you know, it's... They certainly want to be travelling a lot quicker than that to maintain the heat in the tyres, and I hope we don't have to see another safety car. While a few we see it drop into the pits, Nulsey, of course. I don't know why the intermediates didn't work for him, but he's going to come out on the mediums. It looked like there was a bit of a ghosting through the cars as Nelu is also in the pits. We'll jump back to the front of affairs, but I think they'll have plenty of time to get out and catch up with the pack, so could be worse. Lovely visuals. So yeah, sorry about the lack of crack that I've got for the first 3 laps, but we are certainly going to be changing that because we'll be getting the safety car coming in this lap. If you're just joining us, we of course had a very early safety car come out on track after maybe 2 to 3 turns. I think it was turn 1 that did the damage. What's happened to Strauss there? He's never just span on the... Oh, he has. Oh dear, oh dear. Strauss has just span... the car... Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, actually. I've been in that position and it's quite frustrating, so my apologies, Strauss. But he has spun under safety car and has to join the back of the field now of the cars that are out. And, of course, we've got the 2 out the pits that are just joining up with the pack. And Nello, of course, that just came out the pits a little bit later. But they're on fresh tyres, albeit only 1 lap's worth on the rest of the field. Tier 1, of course, currently on as well. Who's bothered? Not me. But if you're racing tier 1, it's good. It's a good tier. All right, it's good. It is good tier. And I can't wait to become doing comms back on there. But I obviously enjoy these comms very much as well. But we are not going to see the safety car come in. What's going on? Do we need this? Is this a 3rd lap? It's such a long lap as well. There must have been a lot of debris at turn 1 following that crash. It looks like it's all up now. Is it? It's certainly you can't see anything on track. But yeah, 3 laps under safety car. We're on lap 4 of the race, and it was the first corner that we got the safety car. Dirty. But to be fair, some people will probably be taking this as just tyre saving, yeah. You know, you get an extra tyre, you get an extra laps out of the initial stint if you need it. But the